What's going on, guys? Zach here. We're back with a training video, full workout for you guys here. We're gonna be hitting some delts and some traps, a little bit of traps. So let's jump right into it. So right here, I'm using the cuffs and we're doing a cable lateral raise. And the reason we're doing the cables is I'm really trying to overload that end range of motion, that top range of motion of the side delt here. Just kind of as an activation. So I'll start really light and just making sure everything's firing properly and that I can activate that side delt efficiently. And using the cuffs is great because it kind of takes the wrists out of it and allows me to really focus on keeping that arm extremely straight and rigid and just driving it out. Think about you don't want to think about driving it up. You want to think about driving your elbows and your arm out. And I'm gonna say that like over and over and over again today. It's gonna be a common theme here, but just trying something here with the cuffs. Just had to put them around my elbow just to kind of see if I could get like a better squeeze, better activation out of the movement. It was pretty much the same, I would say. Your delt inserts on your upper arm, on your humerus right there, so it really doesn't matter where your wrist and lower arm, where the position of that is. You really want to focus on that upper arm, the humerus, driving that up and out to get a good squeeze in the side delt. So did a few sets of those and then moved on to a more traditional lateral raise here, seated lateral raise. And if you guys have seen the other delt video, you'll know that I'm a huge fan of doing seated lateral raise. It kind of takes the momentum out of this movement, which I think really can humble some people. Some people just are kind of swinging away, and once you sit them down, they're like, oh wow, now this is a really hard movement. And your delts aren't a huge muscle, so if you're swinging around a ton of weight with them, your chances are you're probably using some other muscle to compensate, like your traps or something. So with these, the important thing is, again, drive out. Think about driving out. You're reaching that hand out. And the other important thing that tends to happen with people is they'll kind of shrug up and use their traps. I'll try to flex my lats actually right before I initiate this movement. I'll flex my lats a little bit to make sure that I'm keeping my scapula pulled down in position in order to flex the delt. Going from there to another one of my favorite movements here, and we got a cable rear delt fly. And again, got the cuffs on, and the thing that I want you to see here is the angle of the cable, my arm, my elbow, and my rear delt, keeping all of those in line to make sure that we're placing tension on that rear delt. Once as this set progresses, you're going to see my elbow kind of drops a little bit. I need to do a better job of keeping it up, but if your elbow drops, you're going to start to use a little bit of your lat. And with this movement, we're really trying to isolate that rear delt. So another thing is, I love doing them on the cables because you can move the chair in and out depending on where you want to overload. So with this, we're pretty far away, overloading mostly the middle to end range of this movement, and I get a really great squeeze in my rear delt, doing them on the cables like this, and just throwing in some partials, just trying to get the most burn out of it as we can there. And here's a pretty much a staple movement in every bros workout. We got the barbell shrug. So just going pretty light with these, 135. Really want to focus on letting the upper trap stretch at the bottom. Really feel that stretch and then drive up. And I tend to stick my neck forward because I really get a good squeeze in the traps when my neck is forward like that. Going from there to like a really technical movement, barbell high pull here. And you know, with this, if you're feeling any pain in your shoulders, you know, don't do it. But check out the range of motion. So we're only driving right up to the bottom of the chest, and what I focus on is actually like I'm doing a lateral raise. That's kind of how it feels when I do that movement, doing a lateral raise, driving the elbows up, driving the elbows out, not up, and squeezing that side delt. These I picked up from John Meadows a long time ago, and they've, you know, there's kind of something I throw in towards the end of a workout, call them around the worlds, and they're really great because on the, you know, at the beginning of the movement, you're using your side delt to kind of raise that dumbbell up, and then you hit a little bit of your front delt at the top there, and just a really great movement to burn out with, using some lightweight. It's really humbling, you know, if you really focus on going slow with these, you get a great shoulder pump, and you know, I like to, like I said, like to finish out with these just to cap off the shoulders there, and doing some partials at the end. Did partials at the end of most of these. I think delts really respond well to volume, a ton of volume packed in, and you know, I think based on, you know, the size of them and, you know, their fiber type, I think they respond really well to dense, you know, dense work where you're doing a lot of drop sets, a lot of partials and everything. Going from there to an exercise I picked up from Jeff Nippard. I think he picked it up from Lane Norton, I'm not sure, but it was in one of his videos, and I just decided to give it a shot. And it's a little awkward at first, but really good squeeze in the traps. It looks really awkward actually, but the squeeze is actually very good. So I highly recommend these. Just a T-bar shrug, I guess. So, and it's a little, you feel it a little bit lower than like a normal shrug based on the angle there. But so that's gonna be the video, guys. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.